Edgeworth. Edgeworth. You know, as a joke, we told him that in order to start the trial, he has to ask the witness for his name and occupation, but also play him the song of his people. He's not very rhythmic. Slap, slap, slap. You'll get there, Edgy. You'll get there. Welcome back to Miles Edgeworth, Ace Attorney Investigations, and as you can see, we're taking it back to the past, baby. We're going way back to Edgeworth's quote-unquote first trial, but something might have interrupted it. Maybe the person that he was supposed to take over for happened to die. And we're figuring it out. We just investigated the scene, and we're about to argue for what? What happened? What happened? And you know what? There's no benefit of Little Thief this time. We have to use good old-fashioned logic. I don't remember what year this is supposed to take place in, but it's in the quote-unquote past. I think like 10 years ago? Last time we left off, we were just about to, explain ourselves to little babby Franziska. And, she's still adorable, but also as deadly as ever. What happened?
Mr. Faraday's death was instantaneous, while Mr. Rell survived for a short time.
Here's a picture of the situation. Yeah, everything's messed up. Yeah, everything's real messed up. Who died first? The chicken or the egg? The mackerel or the bird?
From this, it is obvious that Mr. Faraday died after he shot Mr. Rell. And Mr. Rell, while on the brink of death, stole Mr. Faraday's knife and stabbed him. Those are the facts of this case.
Gotta get back in my terrible German accent. I watched a video on how to do one better. It still didn't help. Mr. Faraday's death was instantaneous. Therefore, he must have attacked first. Proving that logic to be false is probably the fastest way to show her that she's wrong. In that case, I should first look for any holes in her theory. First thing I can think of? Rebut but. The fact that he died first doesn't prove... No, the fact that he died instantaneously doesn't prove that he died first. Could very well be that somebody else killed Mr. Faraday and then did somebody could have killed Mr. Faraday and then somebody could have killed Mackerel. It could have been completely third party. It was the butler. He did it. Let's see. Press everything. First step to any successful argument. Do you truly believe that Mr. Faraday died instantaneously? I mean, that's what we have in the evidence. I'll give Edgeworth a break. It's one of his first interrogations. Or at least arguments.
I have the murder report right here. Mr. Faraday died instantaneously of shock due to being stabbed in the chest.
Ouch.
There, you see, it's been documented, clear as day.
Alright, Franziska 1, Edgeworth 0. We'll turn it around. We can catch up. Mr. Faraday shot Mr. Rell before he died? Do you have any basis for that statement?
Your foolishness has no end, does it? Now I hate to repeat myself, however, Mr. Faraday died instantaneously. That's all the basis I need.
Alright, so if Mr. Faraday died instantaneously... Under the table? Under the table. Danganronpa. Then he must have attacked Mr. Rell before being stabbed.
You're finally beginning to catch on, I see.
No, just restating the facts. It might help us. It's the rubber duck method. Gotta make sure we know what we know.
Hold it!
Weishney, what's up? I must have met Detective Bad. I absolutely have. I opened the stream with his theme song. I might have... If we get to talk to him again, you'll see what voice I gave him. But I voiced him after a certain detective from DC Comics. Specifically the Dark Knight interpretation. Where's Rachel? Where is she? Pluce from Wisconsin. What's up? How you doing? So you believe that the dying Mr. Rell stole the knife from Mr. Faraday?
Mr. Rell became desperate as he did not want to die. Human beings can do amazing things when they are put to the test. So, the two men struggled. And in the end, Mr. Rell was able to grab the knife and stab Mr. Faraday. The messy condition of this room is a testament to their struggle.
If you remember the investigation from last week, which surprisingly I do, There might have been a struggle, but there probably wasn't. Gumshoe didn't hear a single thing, and the scattered about plastic bags look like they might have been planted there?
Yes, my logic is perfectly sound.
Can you really say that it's perfect? Only as perfect as Von Karma could think of Von Karma could be.
Yeah. What are you insinuating?
It was Mr. Chicken on 3 mountains of Jomo with a car. Wait, I'm not the murderer. Also, we're on the 3rd floor of a courthouse. How do we get a car up here? You know what? Don't ask. I could probably find a way, Shark. Nothing. However, I can't let what you said slide by without further inquiry. Inquiry. One must be clear and precise. So if you could append that statement to your testimony.
Fine.
So you guys contributing eggs to the community challenge. That's right. Since the Pajama Sam challenge got met in just one day, we gotta raise 50,000 eggs if we want to see me play putt-putt on stream. Rest assured, I know we'll make it. But thank you guys for donating those eggs. They're going to a good cause.
They struggled, and Mr. Rel used the last of his strengths to counterattack Mr. Faraday.
We got some new statements. I feel like, if I remember correctly, it just holds true. There is never a time in Ace Attorney where extra information is not used, except for one moment in Ace Attorney 2. Also involving Franziska Von Karma. But I feel like for every other game, as far as I remember, I could be wrong, extra statements are always what you need to counteract. About this statement.
Mr. Rel used all of his remaining strengths to take the knife and defend himself. One can easily see that they had a violent struggle. Of course, it's nothing compared to what my riding crop can do.
Wait, you threatening me now? I thought I was your brother. How does one compare the damage a crop can do with the state of this room? She's that good, Edgeworth.
Furthermore, Halsey brought these plastic bags on the floor in this room. They're scattered there due to the fight. Is there anything else that I can explain for you?
No, that will be fine. For now. Alright, okay. So let me check here. Plastic bag. That's Faraday's blood on it. What is it about this bag that maybe proves that there isn't a struggle? This... That's how you get a car. Wait a minute. That's how you put a car on the roof. Drake and Josh style. Disassemble it, bring it in, reassemble piece by piece. I am 100% certain there is a video that either is or has been on YouTube where they just take that courtroom scene from Drake and Josh and put Ace Attorney music on it. It all comes full circle. Also, Kaylin, what's up? Training for Among Us prosecutions, I see. Oh, Dusty Kuga, you know it. I was playing Among Us with Harish Moment 2 days ago, and I encountered a case where even if I had the perfect evidence, I saw everything happen. Like, I saw the killer, I saw the body, I saw them escape into a vent, and still, everybody voted to eject me out because they didn't believe me. I'm like, what am I supposed to do? I have the perfect argument. No, there's no justice. I need to be like Edgeworth. I need to be more believable, even if I'm lying.
The blood here is from Mr. Faraday, but there are no other clues to be found. Which begs the question, do I need to put this bag inside another bag in order to preserve it as evidence?
Oh, Edgeworth is still so young, he doesn't know... Well, he still doesn't know the basics of evidence. Probably, honestly. But is that really important right now, Mr. Edgeworth? Mr. Edgeworth? Alright. So let's see. One of these pieces of evidence has gotta say, like, maybe the struggle wasn't as tumultuous as everybody is implying. Beep, 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 beep. I can only think of two things. Either the bag or the crime scene notes. Let's try the... Wait, what about this? No sign of a struggle. That's it. Objection! Easy peasy.
If the two men were fighting, their struggle would have surely caused quite a bit of noise. Interesting theory. I vote you off.
Wait, what? Edgeworth has been ejected. Edgeworth was not the imposter. However, Detective Gumshoes testified that he heard absolutely nothing.
Huh. You place too much faith in that detective's testimony, you know. But for the sake of argument, let's say there wasn't a fight. How then did Mr. Rell get his hands on the knife?
Mr. Faraday's bag was sitting right here in lobby number 2. It is not hard to imagine that perhaps Professor
Layton?
Mr. Rell saw a chance and took it out at some point. But what's your proof?
So what you're saying is this. Mr. Rell took a chance when he saw the opportunity and took the knife from the bag. And then Mr. Faraday shot Mr. Rell after being stabbed?
Isn't there something strange in Franziska's statement just now? Oh, something's off. I mean, something has to be false. Let's see if the game will, pinpoint it for me. Wait, something doesn't add up. Does that mean Faraday was already ready to shoot him?
Oh, really?
It's simply not possible for Mr. Faraday to have shot Mr. Rell after being stabbed. Oh, really? Because they were too far away. Maybe? No. You can shoot somebody from close or far away, but there was no gunpowder. There we go. Right? That's gotta be here, right? Gunpowder burns. So if it was right after being stabbed, no. No gunpowder. Take that! Take that. Take that. Take that. Take that. Hold it. Take that.
Take that!
Yeah, I give up. I give up. According to the coroner's report, Mr. Faraday died instantaneously, meaning that he died immediately. Yes, that is what died instantaneously means, Edward. Upon being stabbed by the knife. Ergo, he could not have possibly have fired the gun after that.
Ooh, you got me.
Ooh, you got me. Oh, how can she say that with a straight face? She knew. She already knew the truth this whole time. She's just playing with us. But of course, considering that Franziska and Edgeworth have been wanting to be prosecuted, well, at least have wanting to be in law since their very early childhoods, this is probably what they've been doing all their lives. Play arguments, mock trials, just in the living room of the Von Karma household. This is why they're just having fun with it.
Well then, if the report is correct, then there is only one correct explanation. If we suppose that Mr. Rell attacked first, then Mr. Faraday, who died instantaneously, would have been unable to kill Mr. Rell. Therefore, Mr. Rell must have stabbed Mr. Faraday after he was shot. Then they both died. That is the only explanation that makes logical sense.
Negating your opponent's ideas in order to prove your own theory. I see you've been studying, Franziska. Ain't that a logical fallacy? Just because you're wrong means I have to be right. I'm sure there's a name for that one. They're smirking.
I wanted to explain it to you as simply as possible, before you foolishly propose a foolish theory that only a foolish fool like you could.
Foolish samurai. If I say. How naive of you to believe that only your opinions are valid. I don't know how they did it, but this back and forth between Edgeworth and Franziska, it really does feel like kids arguing. How foolish of you? No, how foolish of you? No, you. Except with so much more words. They just wrote young Edgeworth and young Franziska so well. It's true to their character, but also true to their current age. And still expect to discover the truth that the crime scene offers you. No. Franziska, you've still got a ways to go. I've still got a ways to go. Oh, man. Oh, I miss Danganronpa V3. I miss the characters in Danganronpa. We gotta play Among Us someday. I would love to make an Among Us day. I need to, figure out how to make that happen, though. I don't know if I'd stream it on Twitch. It wouldn't make as much sense, I feel. Because the whole thing about Among Us is you shouldn't be able to see the streamer's screen. I know people have done it. I just need to see how they do it. I think they just have to go on an honor system and say, hey, don't stream look. Don't stream snipe me, bro. Yeah, definitely. We need more community nights. Among Us would be amazing.
What are you talking about? Are you saying there's a flaw in my logic?
The second Franziska runs out of a plan, she panics.
Mr. Faraday died instantly. And the fact that he did is what gives rise to the contradiction in this scene. Gives Monster Hunter rise. Gives Monster Hunter Risei Kujikawa.
Sorry, I had that ready. Monster Hunter Rise got revealed today. I'm gonna buy it, I'm gonna play it. I don't know if I'm gonna stream it, but I'm very excited for it.
The contradiction here in the crime scene is... the order of events. The order the bodies fell. Let the bodies hit the floor. Let the bodies hit the floor.
Let's see now. Now, if this is a very interesting question because if any one is wrong, it could explain the crime scene. We have to figure out actually which one is the wrong one. So let's see. If indeed they died in a certain order, it would provide evidence for, Macrel died first. But what if Macrel died second and placed himself under? I'm pulling stuff out of my butt because this is a Phoenix Wright game. It works. It works. Just call me a defense attorney, baby.
Let me get this straight. What you are arguing is this. Mr. Faraday took the gun from his evidence bag and shot Mr. Rell. Then the wounded Mr. Rell found an opportunity to take the knife and strike back. Upon being stabbed, Mr. Faraday died on the spot, and then Mr. Rell died thereafter.
Oh, but Rell is under.
If that's the case, then how do you explain this? Explain this! Take a good look at the order in which the bodies are piled. No! Mine! Mr. Faraday's body is lying on top of Mr. Rell's. Therefore, Mr. Rell must have died before Mr. Faraday. Impossible! Yes, I agree that it seems strange no matter what angle you approach it from. Which means that the real mystery behind this crime scene that we must solve is weird. How dare you interrupt my thinking? You couldn't even tell what state I was in thought. No, not so fast, Maya Zezverse. What now? I simply think that you ought to think a bit more outside the box. And that it's even clearer now that the incident started with Mr. Faraday's murderous intent.
You're saying he had the motive? Because Mr. Macrel was accusing him of being the Yatagarasu dude? He sure bounced back quickly. It's a good skill to have in Ace Attorney, I'll say.
Yeah. An explanation won't be enough this time. It's going to take some very decisive evidence to prove her wrong. Let's hope I haven't.
Just happened to have it in my pocket.
What happened?
You'll play Among Us? Oh, yeah. You know what? If I ever decide to have a Discord game day, as always, the Discord roles, we have one for playing games with other Discord members. We'll figure it out. And also, I mentioned this before, if you want to play Among Us and you don't have it on computer, it's free on iOS and Android. And if you really want to play it on PC for free, download an Android emulator and get the Android version for free. It works perfectly.
Colonel, I'm trying to sneak around and eject all the non-imposters, but I'm dummy thick. It was just chance that Mr. Faraday's body fell on top of Mr. Rell's. The two bodies fell into a pile, which indicates that they attacked each other at the same time. It really doesn't matter in the slightest that they fell in the opposite order.
Don't know. Doesn't line up with Macrel surviving for a little bit more. Let me double check that, because it has been a week. It's Macrel that survived a little bit, right? Yes, because Faraday died from the stab.
That's a no. I just know that Franziska's explanation isn't absolutely correct. All I have to do is find a hole in her logic. Once I do, I can then present her with the evidence that provides this contradiction. Proves the contradiction. One of those words. Of course, yes.
Here, I found the hole. Wait, no, that's just a hole in Mr. Rel's chest.
Hold it!
Dun-dun. Nice dancing, Sprint.
Objection!
Dun-dun-dun-dun. Wait a minute.
Oh, praising someone's testimony in order to gain some time to think. You're a real one-trick pony, aren't you?
She's figured me out. Oh no, what else can I do? This is the strategy she pulls in Ace Attorney too. She's learned. She learned it all the way back here in this point in time.
It's too bad your trick only works on fools.
That wasn't my intent. I simply wish for more details as to how Mr. Faraday ended up on top of Mr. Rel. Hold on, phrasing.
Someone's impatient. I was just about to explain everything to you. So do you think you could hold on for a minute?
Franziska, I'll make you a deal. I'll hold on if you hold on to that whip of yours. Hold it.
Oh, I'll hold on to it, all right. As I whip you.
Wait a minute. Ah, dude, that almost hit my eyeball. I wear an eye patch, I look just like Big Boss.
Well, now that you've quieted down a bit, I'd like to continue if you don't mind.
Chiba, what's up? I started a little bit early, but now it's normal time. How you doing? How's everybody doing right now, by the way? Did you guys figure out the contradiction? I'm just reading it. No, that's wrong! Dum bum bum ba dun dun da da. Dum bum bum ba dun dun da da. Hold on, gotta save that for a contradiction. Fell into a pile. Alright, if there's one statement that is probably suspect here, maybe it does matter that they fell in the wrong order, because that was my argument in the first place. Do you really believe they fell in the exact opposite order in which they attacked?
Miles Edgeverse, you're not listening to a word that I'm saying. They both attacked each other at the same time, and Mr. Rel fell first by chance, leaving Mr. Faraday to just happen to fall on top of him. Then Mr. Rel died shortly thereafter, pinned underneath Mr. Faraday. That's how it happened.
So the two men attacked each other, with Mr. Rel randomly falling down first. Alright, okay, here's how I see it. If it was really at the same time, that can only possibly happen if they were at point blank. There's no gunshot, there's no gunpowder or whatever indicating a point blank shot, so no. The fact that the order they attacked each other in varies from the order they fell doesn't cause a problem for me. However, there's definitely one certain aspect that I'm having trouble swallowing. Phrasing. So here we go. Same time? I don't think so. You cannot stab at not point blank. It was a distant stab. He threw the knife, dude. Is it this one? Yeah, no burn. Feel the burn. Objection!
Objection!
No! Guess that wasn't it. Maybe I'm ahead of the logic of the game. Franziska, I advise you to take a look at this piece of evidence.
And what are you trying to say with this?
I'm saying that this piece of evidence
Doesn't contradict with my testimony. I don't know. Edgeverse looking kind of sus.
That's all you have to do in Among Us, dude. You just say, after everybody says their piece and it starts to look like nobody knows what's going on, you just say, blue looking kind of sus, and then everybody will start voting for them, even though you have zero reason.
Miles Edgeverse, just face it. I'm going to win our little competition.
I have to calm down and do a better job at finding a flaw in her logic. Oh boy. Goku, what's up? Playing Among Us right now. Ooh, hope you're having fun. I hope you haven't been injected too much. Ejected too much. Are you winning, son? Are you the imposter, son? It's okay, you can tell me. I won't cheat. I won't tell your friends. Nice shenanigans. Let's see. Let's see. Two bodies fell in the pile. There's just chance. Maybe that's it? Dun, dun, dun. Now, let me see. There's some things that she doesn't know that we could bring up. The knife was in Rel's hand. The pen! That's something that we didn't find until we actually flipped the bodies over. So that's probably important. Maybe. And he's also left-handed. We're not bringing that up yet. The bullet that killed Rel was fired from a few yards. Oh. That also proves that it wasn't at the same time. Let's do that one. Maybe I just picked the wrong evidence. Objection!
Objection!
I'm pretending that works. No! Still not correct. Wow. Wow. I think I'm just too far ahead. I think I'm just missing something obvious here. Let's press everything, even though Franziska whipped me for it. I can sustain the damage.
Hold it!
It'd be funny, though, if every time she whipped, it actually did take a little bit of my health bar. The two fell on top of each other. Don't you find that to be just a bit strange? Not at all. Uh-huh. Dang. my only argument. I can see it in her eyes. She's dead set against me from the bottom of her heart. And that's not very far. It's a very shallow heart. Miles Edgeworth, once I'm done here, you'll see that there's nothing strange at all. Now then, the two men fell into a pile. How? Well, I'm glad to see that chat's also confused. If you guys have any ideas, I'll entertain them.
Hold it!
Did I already press this? What do you mean by they attacked each other at the same time? Oh, maybe this'll do it. Look at that smug face. I'm very tempted to change Manoka Smug to that, if I wasn't already using Franziska's face as Manoka Smug. This? I don't like this, Charlie. Its smug aura mocks me. I assume Mr. Faraday has two different weapons in his hands. He made to attack Mr. Rel while holding both the knife and revolver. And then, bang! After Mr. Faraday fired the gun, Mr. Rel grabbed the knife as he was falling and stabbed Mr. Faraday. That is how Mr. Rel wound up on the bottom with Mr. Faraday on top. At close range, that is more than possible. Yes, it's possible. At close range. There, we had to bring up the topic first. But, well, if you have any other ideas, then show me what you've got. Oh, I will. And to that extent, I'd like for you to append what you just said to your testimony. There you go, the game tried to trick me. The game tried to trick me. Saying like, what are you doing? Why are you pressing? Why are you pressing, bro? That doesn't win you this game. Yes, it does. I don't see any point to that, but as you please. It was a few feet away. Now the question is, can I present either the gun or the crime scene notes? I'm gonna go with the gun because it literally says a few yards away.
Objection!
There you go. No. My finger points. So, you believe they killed each other at close range. Sorry, but that's impossible. Just as it is written in the crime scene notes, the firing of the handgun did not leave a gunpowder burn on Mr. Rel's clothes. I bet both are valid. Thank you, game. Therefore, Mr. Rel and the gun bullet must have been separated by a distance of at least 2 or 3 yards. Why does everybody act like they've been stabbed when they've been proven wrong? It's how much they have faith in their own argument just to be torn apart. Yes, this is by far the biggest contradiction. If only I pointed it out sooner. The two bodies are piled up on each other, yet the gun was fired from a distance. Got her. Finally. Zach Shadows, what's up? How you guys doing? How close are we to the Putt-Putt challenge? You guys have been really donating to that. I'm so glad I raised the price, because it would have been done by now. We got 12 days. Can we make it happen? I believe it. Putt-Putt. Probably going to play Travels Through Time. But anyway, we're traveling through time to Edward's past. And then, with there being no chance that Mr. Rel moved that far after being shot, you don't know. Maybe he ran really, really fast just to confuse everybody. That leaves only one possible explanation. What a really foolish line of foolish thought from a thoroughly foolish fool! If I'm not right, then who was it that made the first move with the intent to kill? Huh? Who? Such a lust for revenge? Uh-oh. The person that attacked first. That would be... The fact there's a third option makes me want to pick it. That's how these games work, you know. Here in this room, contradictions appear no matter which man we claim attacked first. Thus, there can only be one explanation. It was me. There was a third person here! It was that third person who killed both Mr. Faraday and Mr. Rell, and set their bodies up to make it look like a double murder. That third person is the real culprit. I might remember who it is, but I'm going to, you know, for all intents and purposes, pretend it's just a theory, so that I don't accidentally spoil myself.
Miles Edgeworth, there's just one thing you're missing.
Evidence, correct?
Exactly. Everything you said up until now is nothing but a story played out in your head. However, this is where the real test begins. Can you prove there was a third person involved in this crime?
Of course. Just give me some time to think. Just anime thinking. If a third person was truly here, that fact would resolve the glaring contradiction. The proof that this has all been a setup made to look like they killed each other. I'll present it and lay bare the final piece of the puzzle that's not yet in place.
Ooh.
You know what I want? I want to see a version of every Ace Attorney game where they take all the inner dialogue and just cut it out, but keep the thinking animations. Thinking without the thinking. Somebody recently did that. Hold on, let me bring it up, because it's just funny. My Hero Academia. If you've watched it, you know that the main character likes to get lost in thought, even in canon. So somebody went through the trouble of taking a scene from, or multiple scenes from the show, and just cutting it so that he's just thinking in real time, silently. This is all anime. This is the equivalent of taking a show like The Big Bang Theory and just cutting out all the laugh tracks. What happens to anime when you take out the transition, when you take out the exposition? Yes. Yes. Now you know why everybody thinks he's a dork. He just loses himself for, what, minutes at a time. Anime. It really makes you realize how much anime depends on characters' inner monologues. Yes, Deku. I agree. Uh-huh. Midoriya. Uh-huh. Oh no. Yeah. Yeah. Gumshoe looking kinda sus. Wait, don't vote Gumshoe off. Vote Deku off. He's thinking too hard. That's when I play Among Us, when I play any kind of hidden identity game, I start suspecting everybody who is either talking too much or not saying anything at all. Because it either means they have too much of a plan and they're determined to make everybody believe their lie, or they did not think of anything to say. Because anything they could possibly say is they're worrying that it'll out them out as the liar. 9 times out of 10, it works. What piece of evidence proves there was another person? The fact that the gun was in the wrong hand, I believe? It's probably the pen. It's the only thing that proves his handedness. I guess, maybe? Let's see, does this say it was in his right hand? It shows that it's in his right hand. Alright, let's just try the pen and see if it leads us down the rabbit hole. Nope! This is that very evidence!
And exactly how is this related?
I'll take this pen and write out a letter that says I am correct. It's a doctor's note. The doctor said I'm right. I've been diagnosed with clinical correctness.
Do you think you could explain it to me?
Oh yes, it's a very well-documented disease, I assure you. I've been infected since birth. There is no need for an explanation.
Well, I have no idea how it's related, so, could you please explain it to me?
Yes, well,
Let me guess, you can't explain it, can you?
It would appear that I was wrong. Oh, I was wrong. I've been cured of my clinical correctness. But there is definitely a contradiction. Okay. I'm overthinking it again. Let's go with the crime scene. Boom. No! Play Among Us? Let's do it. Someday. I already went over that. We'll figure it out. Not anytime soon. I have a stream schedule and a lot of games to play. Most likely it'll be in the Discord, so watch out there. Knife. Incident. Definitely not it there. Gumshoe's testimony. Other than gunshot, didn't hear a sign of a struggle. I want to see something that just, it's proof, you know? Just proof there's another person. The fact that it was the wrong hand is basically our idea. There's a bag here. I don't think that's it. I guess the gun? We're saying it's in the wrong hand? It was the gun. See, I'm having the issue that multiple pieces of evidence can all say the same thing. The gun in Mr. Faraday's hand and the plastic bag with his blood on it. These two items point to the presence of a third person. How so? Recall Detective Gumshoe's testimony.
I was in the hallway the whole time, but I didn't hear a single peep of a struggle.
If there wasn't a struggle in this room, then there shouldn't be any plastic bags on the ground. Meaning that someone else must have deliberately scattered them around. No. Do you not see the possibility in this? Disregarding the gun for the moment, there's a high probability of blood spatter when a knife is used on a person. Take that out of context. This is something you have to explain in the Ace Attorney world. If the culprit held the knife with a plastic bag around it, then they could use the bag to catch any blood spatter from when they withdrew the knife. Then by spreading a few more plastic bags around, mixing the bloody one in with them, and arranging the room to make it look like there was a struggle between the two, they were able to conceal their presence. Ah! Can we fingerprint the bags? Has that been invented yet? Guess not.
Oh yeah, taking notes. Looks like we've still got a long way to go in this investigation.
Still got a ways to go.
Ryo Mahoshi, how I miss you. Yes.
Objection!
No. I forgot that was Callisto Yu's objection voice. It honestly just sounds like a dude. Objection!
What the heck's up with you, pal?
Oh, I'm so sorry for the judge. Look at how heavy he's breathing. He probably strained himself coming all the way over here. Yeah, busted.
What the heck's up with you, pal?
Mr. Bad, I advise you to place Detective Gumshoe under arrest. This is how it always happens. Somebody said Gumshoe sus. Now everybody arrests him.
What? What's the meaning of this?
Looks like you're not man enough to discipline your own subordinates.
Don't you dare!
The detective claims he was there, standing in front of the door this entire time. But I have it on good authority that was all a giant lie. Miss Yu, I ask that you please explain that last statement. I require more details. I'll let His Honor explain it himself. Ah, yes, His Honor, Judge. Name reveal. First name his, last name Honor.
I saw it with my own eyes, I tell you. During the recess, there was a period of time when there was no one in the hallway. What?
See, Mr. Bad. So I ask you, why would a detective who was supposedly doing his job the whole time want to fabricate such a lie? He was busy getting a cola from the vending machine. Look, everybody gets thirsty.
Gumshoe, did you kill Faraday? No! Of course not, sir.
It would appear that the one who set up this whole crime scene is that detective, which basically renders his testimony a complete lie and wholly invalid.
You're just saying that because it refutes my theory.
Oh, it looks like your perfect logic has just come tumbling down, Miles.
That's not important. What's important is Gumshoe's gonna go to jail. It's Phoenix. No, Phoenix is most likely not alone. I know exactly where Phoenix Wright is at this time. He's in university. I know this from Ace Attorney 3.
I was in the hallway the whole time, but I didn't hear a single peep of a struggle.
It's true that my whole argument is based on Gumshoe's statement, but I think he's a good guy. He's got a heart of gold, and pretty soon to be a heart full of sodium from all those cup noodles. Was that statement really a lie? If only they replayed the scenario just like Danganronpa. Monokuma would show me the truth.
Detective Gumshoe, you are now a suspect in the murder of 2 men. Now spit out the truth, or so help me. Where is she? Where's Rachel? I haven't lied to anyone, sir. Honest. I really wasn't really there. I was in the hallway the whole time.
Hold it!
Hey. He wasn't sus. No, you were joking. You were joking. It's too late. You reap what you sow. He's gonna get ejected, and he was one of the only people who could help us find the imposter. Detective Bad, I ask that you please do not act without my permission. Do you have the authority to say that, Edgeworth? I mean, I know you have it later, but do you have it now? After all, I am the one that is heading up this investigation, am I not? I'm not even sure if there's if it's officially an investigation yet. It kind of just happened.
Don't talk like you know what's going on, boy.
No. I do know what's going on. All I want is for this investigation to run perfectly. Perfection is the only wish of a disciple of Von Karma, after all. Therefore, before you take Detective Gumshoe into custody, also thank you, Franziska. I strive to be nothing less than an exact copy of Manfred von Karma. Oh, that man, he is so wise and wonderful. Oh. I'd like to set the record straight on something.
And what's that?
What should I ask Detective Gumshoe about? He didn't know what's going on. If you really weren't in the hallway, why? Don't ask for the motive. That's already indicting him. Why were you in the hallway? Do you have an explanation? Why would you lie? Detective Gumshoe, why were you missing from the hallway for a span of time?
Look, pal. Like I said, I was there the whole time, okay?
But there is testimony against you that Miles Edgeworth, why are we wasting our time with a completely useless question? The only logical reason as to why he was absent is that he was busy committing the crime. I was trying to see if he had an alibi. Anyone who says otherwise is a fool! Nark. Maybe I should ask about something else. What did the hallway look like? If you were really there, you'd know. You'd know! Sleepy, what's up? Welcome. We're trying to prevent Detective Gumshoe from being ejected into the cold reaches of space. Because, you know, this is just a giant game of Among Us. How you doing, Sleepy? Detective Gumshoe, I would take it that no one else was in that hallway at any time, correct?
Huh? No, of course not, pal.
Question is, does that make it a locked room murder? And if so, how did they get out? Or are they still there? We know the windows weren't an option. You're being awfully defensive. Might you be hiding something from me?
Watch your mouth, pal. You can't go around saying stuff like that about me without any evidence.
Huh. I suppose you're right. I have no evidence at this point. Sleepy as well. Hope I've been as well. I've been getting a little more sleep than usual, so relatively that's good. I think I figured out the secret. I figured out the secret to having a stream life and a work life. Do some work after stream so I can wake up later. Like, what's the difference between me working in the morning when I'm sleepy versus working at night when I'm awake? I just accept my nocturnality. It's been working so far, and you know what? Working from home, it doesn't really make that much of a difference. Miles Edgeworth, how can you be losing a battle of wits with this detective? Don't worry, I learned how to bring him up to my level rather than stooping down to his. You're a disgrace! Now that's code. Gnurk. Maybe I should ask about something else. Really? Motive? I suppose the one thing I'd like clarified is Detective Gumshoe's motive for committing this crime. Oh wait, I'm asking Franziska why there would be a motive. Or bad.
Motive, huh? Gumshoe, you got a grudge against Faraday or anything?
Faraday or anything? Like, if he's guilty, he wouldn't admit it.
No, sir, not me. Not a single bad thing against Mr. Faraday, sir. Is that a fact?
Oh, those eyes! Look at this man. The 1 pixel of his pupil. Oh, he's staring with the intent to kill, or the intent to pull out a lollipop or something. You really have a problem with lying, don't you, Detective Gumshoe?
I'm telling you, I am not lying.
The more unnatural you act, the more suspicious you become, you know. If you want a motive, Edgeworth, I have one for you right here. Could you please share it with us? However, be forewarned that I won't hesitate to object to flights of fancy. Who's the antagonist here? Because Edgeworth be acting like a prosecutor already. Because he is one. Because all I'm interested in is the perfect explanation. Sleepy had 1 hour of sleep. Wait a minute, what's your usual schedule, dude? Oh, dude, I hope you get a chance to rest at some point. That's the character laughing, not me. You're serious, aren't you? Oh, fine. You amuse me, so I'll humor you with a little courtroom practice. Oh, we going. We arguing, baby. Gumshoe's motive. You're applying makeup in the middle of the... No! Take this seriously, dude. It was about a week ago. What does that have to do with now? I saw the detective get chewed out by a livid Faraday in front of the precinct. He stood there super pale as Mr. Faraday yelled, "That's a salary cut for you, you nitwit." A brand new detective suddenly getting his salary cut. That's reason enough for a grudge. If Gumshoe held a grudge just for that, Edgeworth would have been killed like a million cases ago. Well, how's that for the perfect explanation? Look, I'm sure his salary is still enough to afford like 2 or 3 cup noodles a week. Okay, Ace Attorney fans, we have one joke, and we love it.
You totally misunderstand me, pal. No matter how mad I get, I could never hold a grudge.
I mean, they don't know Gumshoe as well as fans of the series do, so I'll believe him still.
Quiet! We can't trust anything you say.
Sir! There's nothing wrong with the motive she proposed, per se. But there are some gaps in her logic that need to be filled in. Misuse, perfect explanation. May not be so perfect after all. Perfect. But saves the zoo. Putt proves Gumshoe's innocence. I would love to play that humongous entertainment game. Celeste will be right back. Hey, no problem, Cel. Sleepy's usual sleep is 4 to 6 hours, depending on the day. Man, we have so much in common. That shouldn't be a good thing. A week ago. But was it really a week ago?
Hold it!
I'm just pressing it for funsies at this point. A week ago? Yes, 7 days. Don't you know what a week is? Maybe it was a fortnight ago. Then you and Detective Gumshoe are acquaintances? No way. I only met him in person today. And how did you know about Detective Gumshoe? Oh, I've seen him around before. Alright, fair. Getting chewed out by Faraday. Mr. Faraday was upset. This man? He doesn't look like he has an angry bone in his body. Yeah, you know what else? Mr. Faraday isn't exactly known to get angry often. But there he was, totally beat red in the face. Maybe it was an allergy. And the offending detective just stood there, pale as a ghost, like he was about to die. Just like the face he's making now, right?
I'm completely innocent, I tell you. I tells you.
The poor man. It was quite the scene with the detective. I'm remembering how much I love Callisto U. Especially now that I can just go like 10-1, back to 10 on her laughing. How she passed the bar exam, I'll never know. She probably like went into a laughing fit while she was just taking the written portion. He stood there super pale as Mr. Faraday yelled, "That's a salary cut for you." You can vouch for Gumshoe. You're both doing tasks in the cafeteria. Wait, the cafeteria doesn't have tasks. Dusty Cougar looking kinda sus. He was recalibrating this combobulator. That's not a real task. You got a question for me, Sleepy? Hey, no problem. Shoot. You just stood there watching this unfold in front of you? Yeah, I have to say it was really enjoyable too. Okay, Schadenfreude. But that's why when I saw Detective Gumshoe earlier, I knew to steer clear of him.
No way. I thought it was because I had something stuck on my face.
I mean, there's a band-aid.
But you do! Huh? What have I got stuck on my face?
Let's start with your eyes, nose, mouth, and those ridiculous eyebrows.
Huh? They don't look that ridiculous. I'm trying to look at my own eyebrows. It's not working. It's not working.
Oh, just the trademark Gumshoe eyebrow wiggle. Rivaling only the Doom Marine. Oh man, messing with your head is just too much fun. Miss you, if you don't mind, I'd like to return to your testimony now. Sure, why not? What's some of my favorite video game music? Oh, I'm very prepared to answer that question because I can look on my iPod right now. I'm gonna grab it off of the dock because I put a lot of it on here. I still need to figure out. Like what albums I haven't put on here. But I actually really love. Mostly if it's from a Capcom game. A lot of Capcom's composers are just aces, from the Mega Man series to Ace Attorney. Ace Attorney, I was talking about this the other day. At the first moment of my life, I had a phone that could play MP3s. One of the first albums I put on it was a Ace Attorney cover album. And it's just been on everything I own that plays MP3s ever since. Oh, it's on my freaking phone right now. Besides that, I've been also listening to like the Nier Automata soundtrack lately, Earthbound, Super Nintendo games too, Chrono Trigger, good songs, Final Fantasies basically, and yeah, a bunch of video games. If I had to classify it to a genre, I don't know, but I guess RPGs, and that's why I love RPGs. But it's just all kinds of music, all kinds of music. I will say though, Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, the game, all those chiptune songs by ManokAdobo, fantastic. That's what I want to recommend right now. You see, I hope you're compiling a playlist, Sleepy. Anyway, hold it. To cut a new detective salary right off the bat like that. I'm not really familiar with the way you guys relate, but is that a common practice? Only in Edgeworth's department.
Speaking of cutting my salary, didn't you threaten to do that to me earlier too?
I suppose I did. It's only natural to cut the detective salary down to the actual verse. My father can even fire anyone, new or old, with a snap of his fingers. Perfectly balanced, as all things should be. Do you think maybe that's reason enough for detectives to hate you people? What do you mean, you people?
Well, I guess. They really shouldn't cut people's pay.
I'll cut your pay, Detective Bad. How about that? No, we want to get on his good side. Detective Bad, don't tell me. Mr. Von Comma cut your salary earlier? I bet it's already happened, dude. There's probably not a single detective in this precinct who hasn't had their salary cut by Von Karma. Well, how's that for the perfect explanation? I mean, I don't have evidence necessarily refuting that. You call your explanation perfect? Is it not your liking? No. Unfortunately for you, it's just not up to my standards. Oh? Is there something you want me to clarify in that case? Oh, I'm probably gonna have to choose. What should I do? Should I raise an objection? Always choose to object. Alright, if you could clear this one thing up for me. Well, we already established that this is supposedly his motive. Their relationship, maybe? Because the motive for killing Rel is probably like, oh, he saw him kill Faraday, so why not? Or to stage up the crime scene. And then, yeah, this is probably the best one. Actually, allow me ask the detective directly. What do you mean? Sorry, allow me to ask. I don't know why I didn't say to. Allow me ask the detective directly. What was your relation to Mr. Faraday? Man, this game has a lot of typos. Ace Attorney.
Mr. Faraday was in charge of training rookie detectives to testify in trials. I met him on the very first day I entered the criminal affairs department, pal.
Oh? I had no idea Mr. Faraday was so involved.
Faraday. He may look like an easygoing guy, but he's actually a bit of a nut for strict discipline and manners. Nut! Guys like Gumshoe tended to rub him the wrong way.
I would never rub you the wrong way. There. Now you know how the detective and Mr. Faraday were related. Happy now? No? No? Wait. I was hoping that would give me something to work with. You said you only had one thing to ask, right?
Please allow me to ask about one more thing.
Oof. Oh, you are a riot, Edgeworth. Poor baby. Tell you what, I'll let you have another go. How's that? Am I starting to ship it? I'm not sure. Should I be? Is it just me? How did Gumshoe do it, supposedly? You still haven't explicitly established how Mr. Faraday was killed. This is probably wrong.
Objection!
I'm surprised Gumshoe hasn't made a cut my celery joke, you know, for his noodles. That's because celery is disgusting. I'm sorry. If you like celery, please, by all means, take mine. I just don't care for it all that much. I think I have... isn't it a genetic thing for people to like or not like the taste of celery? I am firmly in the no thank you camp. Folsy Bear, what's up? You may not need to eat your laptop yet. Bring the key here. Oh, did you get your new desktop, Folsy? Oh, I can't wait. I don't remember if you told me the specs, but it is a very good time to upgrade your computer. I mean, everybody's staying at home doing stuff on the computer anyway. So, I want to see. You can use it to play Among Us. How you doing, Folsy? Going seen already, Miles. Mr. Faraday was stabbed to death with a knife. But there's Gumshoe's fingerprints on it? No, not that. What I meant to ask was, how were the two men killed when they were in a guarded room? Guarded by Gumshoe?
We're going to find out very soon from Gumshoe and his interrogation boy.
Oh, you're a riot, Edgeworth. One more time. Just so you know, I'm totally getting everything wrong on purpose so that we see all the dialogue. Sleepy is trying to add more music to your playlist. Nice. What are you using to manage your playlist, by the way? I've been setting up everything in iTunes because I've got an iPod. But I'm wondering if there's a better solution. Like the de facto music player for PCs nowadays. Because I spent a lot of time making sure all the album art and titles and whatnot are all perfect and well organized. It looks very nice. But it's very specific to Apple and iPod. It doesn't work with my phone. And all that work I did just went out the door. Oh, it's so sad. When I copy all my songs to my phone, it's like, oh yeah, no art, no album art. It's just on YouTube. Oh, so you're just in YouTube playlists. Hey, as long as you got internet. Soul Sapphire, how you doing? Welcome. Gumshoe's being indicted. We gotta save him, or else we change the timeline. Hope you're well. I understand Detective Gumshoe's potential motive for killing Mr. Faraday. However, what about his motive for killing Mr. Rel? His motive for killing Rel? Like I would know. I was so certain they were just gonna say he probably saw him kill Faraday, so he had to also be silenced. If there was no clear motive for both of the murders, then I doubt this incident would have occurred. Wouldn't you agree? Is there anyone else who might have had a grudge against either of the two men? Or should we look into that ourselves? Oh, in that case, I have absolutely no idea. Oh! What? But that's impossible. She must know something. Wait! Oh, can you please not glare at me like that? It makes me laugh. No, I didn't even do anything, and you're already laughing away. Well, anyway, the way I see it, as long as he had a motive to kill one of the two, this crime would have played out the way it did anyway. Oh? Would you care to explain your logic? And this time, please try to provide a truly perfect explanation. Perfect this, perfect that. Stop being so uptight, or is that a requisite trait for being upon karma? Miles Edgeworth, I demand you shut that rude woman up! I wish you'd both be quiet for just 1 second. Oh well, I guess I'll just have to explain it to you kids. Dun dun dun! One more. Motive to kill the men. I have a feeling this is gonna be right before a break, and then we'll see if the Mario 3D All-Stars is done downloading. Maybe. Sound good, guys? There's no one out there with a motive to kill both Mr. Faraday and Mr. Rel. All you really have to establish is that someone had a grudge against one of the two men. Mr. Rel, who happened to be there, became a witness to Mr. Faraday's murder. Therefore, he was killed out of necessity and set up to look like they had killed each other. That's what I was thinking. You're loving the voice acting. It's so perfect for her laugh, right? Just going absolutely crazy. I practiced. I wonder if that's really true. Is there no one out there with a grudge against both men? I should take another hard look at the evidence for this morning's case. The second KG8 incident, as people are calling it, involving an embassy staff member, and the two men who both wound up as suspects in the case. Is there someone else I'm overlooking who is somehow related to them? Who's that one guy? No. Noah's doing well. Oh yeah. That's good to hear. Oh yeah. Okay, let's get this over. Who was the guy? Who was the guy? The guy, that one dude. The guy that's like only 30 something. Manny Cochin. We have his profile. What for? I wonder. Wait a minute. How do I look at the profiles? I guess not yet. So I'm gonna press this point. Maybe there's someone who fits better. Who we know is here. Yeah, not Gumshoe. We're gonna prove him innocent right now. Someone with a grudge against one of the men. In that case, aren't there plenty of other people who fit the bill? Sure. After all, who doesn't garner scorn from another simply by being alive? Long as there are two people left on the planet, somebody's gonna want somebody dead. But the only one who held such a grudge and acted upon it by killing was Detective Gumshoe. Furthermore, I'm even starting to sound like you, Edgeworth. Therefore, he was killed out of necessity and set up to look like they killed each other? I mean, that's my argument. So you're saying that he was basically silenced? Aren't you glad you managed to avoid the same fate, Your Honor? Why, if you had been the one to witness the blood-covered detective...
What? Detective Gumshoe, you were killing me? What? I could never do something as terrible as that, Your Honor. There's no need for even a second of deliberation. I mean,
The judge has us right. Look at him, he's so large. Your Honor, take a look around. We are not in a court right now. Just a courthouse. It would be greatly appreciated if you would stay here with us in reality.
please forgive me. I know not what I do.
Never.
And you there, Miss You, hurry up and continue with your testimony. If you fail to do so, I will whip you into shape.
That's nice. Sounds kind of like fun, actually. Oh boy. Oh boy. Anyway, Detective Gumshoe had to erase the witness, Mr. Rell. Oh boy. Oh, Callisto, you. Maybe I should be shipping you with someone else.
Hold it!
So what? That's my argument, but really? Huh.
I didn't do it, pal.
No hard feelings, but I don't think we can take the word of a criminal seriously.
But I can't even begin to think of ways to set up a crime scene.
You're a detective, isn't that your job?
I suppose you do lack the necessary tactical mind required to do such a thing.
Oh, why do you have to kick a man when he's down, pal?
You shouldn't put yourself down, detective. You're a big boy. I bet you started up all by yourself, right?
Yeah, that's right. And I worked real hard at it, too.
No way, you're admitting it!
I think this proves one thing about the detective. He has the mental acuity of a worm. I have to admit, her explanation makes sense. However, there is also something she's overlooked in her testimony. I should present that piece of evidence and see if I can't make her see the truth. No one out there with a motive to kill both. Oh wait, I skipped that because it's always the first one that I tend to skip the first one for some reason. There is someone who has a motive for both. There's no one else who might have a grudge against most Mr. Faraday and Mr. Rell. I suppose no one is a bit of a stretch, but I'm pretty sure no one like that was here in this courthouse today. What a coinky-dink! Lying through her teeth, we just saw one like that earlier. Besides, you don't need to prove that a killer had a grudge against both men. Still though, it's a hole in your testimony. Bado, babado. Easy peasy. Miss Yu, I believe there is someone you overlooked in making your statement. Or rather, is it because you'd rather not bring this person up? What do you mean? We are looking for someone with a reason to kill both Mr. Faraday and Mr. Rell. I can think of at least one person that fits the bill. He was the suspect in the original KG-8 incident, and a member of the Cadopian embassy staff, Mr. ManokAdobo.
Exclamation point!
That's right. The very man who came to visit you earlier out in the hallway. Man, just to show up on the same day that both of these men die. The man who killed a member of the Cadopian embassy staff, Mr. Rell, and the man who was the lead prosecutor of the KG-8 incident, Mr. Faraday. Are you telling me that Mr. Cochin has no reason at all to kill both of these men? Those are some bold claims you're making, Edgeworth. We're just gonna suspect him? Well, I suppose he might have a reason or two.
You covered for me, pal. Maybe you're not such a bad guy after all.
Don't get ahead of yourself. You're still a suspect. Make no mistake about that. The perfect evidence, the perfect testimony. These are the only things I wish to hold. The only thing he wishes to hold, not even a loved one. Oh.
But I didn't do it.
Huh. You will stay under my authority and go investigate Mr. ManokAdobo for me. And remember, I will not be very forgiving should any of... Who said that?
Hold it. You want to investigate Cochin? You'd just be wasting your time.
What? Was it suddenly found out that he has also been killed? And why is that? The BRB, no problem.
Kojin was up in the viewing gallery, watching the trial, or so I was told. Every cop in this place has been keeping an eye on the guy since he arrived.
Since the only real suspect we have is still Detective Gumshoe. I suppose so.
No way! Come on, Detective Barrett. You gotta believe me, sir. I really was in that hallway the whole time, sir. I never took a single step into this room, sir. Okay, and are you saying there was someone else who passed through the hallway? No. There was no one else, sir. Then why should I believe you didn't do it?
That is one incredibly foolish detective. Standing right in front of a crime scene all by himself. It's as good as a confession of guilt. He was just doing his job, no bully. Gumshoe's a good boy. Oh.
Edgeworth basically doing the whole, we're gonna vote this guy off first, but you're still sus, and next. I mean, I've done that. I've definitely done that in Among Us. I'm guilty. And during that time, I was the imposter. It is so fun, that game. I have to admit it's a bit strange. Most criminals will fabricate some sort of lie to escape their crimes. And if that detective really wanted to prove that he is innocent, you'd think he would at the very least offer up, I spaced out while on duty or the like. I bet he's protecting someone.
Come on, Gumshoe. Time for your interrogation.
No.
Detective Bad.
Miles Edgeworth, I will go ahead and report this to Papa.
And that, as they say, is that. Right, everyone? Ho, 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 ho.
Still haven't figured out a good voice for Judge, ironically. It makes more sense to have him be around for more than just a couple of lines. Well, I suppose we should both be getting back to our real jobs now, huh? I guess we're still having that trial. Before we do, Miss Yu, there is something I'd like to speak with you about.
What is it?
I don't know. It'll have to wait until tomorrow because it is 9 p.m. So, just in case Mario All-Stars is available right now, we'll do this tomorrow, actually. We'll do this again. We'll play a little bit of Ace Attorney and then play a little bit of the Marios. I mean, it's midnight right now. I can't not play Mario if it's available, so we'll see. We'll see. What is your question for you? I don't know. We'll find out next time, baby. This guy's arm must be so tired. What is... Hello? I think the carbon monoxide detector's going off. Uh-oh. Good time for a break.